What's up, everybody, and welcome to JohnnyKpicks. And today I'll be breaking down all of the fights for UFC Vegas 104, Vettori versus Dolidze 2. Now, before we get to that, please hit that like button for me and subscribe if you are new or if you just haven't yet. And don't forget to turn on those notifications so you know when I put out my videos and when we go live on our live shows. But last night was UFC 313. Overall, pretty fun card. There was some stinkers in there, some wild judging decisions, if you want to say. But yeah, for my picks, I ended up going 7-3, and one of those wins was Mayrin Santos, which I do think he lost. But a couple of my picks I thought won that actually lost. The other Santos, very close fight though. I thought he did win. And I also thought Alex won as well. Very close fight, though. But I did think he won rounds 1, 3, and 5. But it is what it is. I think it all washed out, worked out right. So, like I said, 7-3 on my picks. And then for my bets, I ended up winning plus 3.68 units. So that's a good night, too. Also hit the easy money parlay since wasn't really a parlay since the Blaze fight got canceled last minute. But we still hit that. And we won some money with right there. So that's good. And then, so yeah, let's jump right into UFC Vegas 104. Guess what, guys? We have 13, which is wild. 13 fights, not 10. But we still have 7 days or 6 days before the fights start. So maybe we'll get down to 10. Who knows? I'm praying we don't. But hey, we got 13 now. Not a lot crazy difference other than the Medeiros and Elder fight is canceled. So there was 14. So there you go. First fight, let's get to it. Like I said, we got Josiane Nunes versus Priscilla Cachoeira, and we got Nunes, solid striker, tons of power. Not doesn't really throw a lot of combos. Mostly an overhand right is her bread and butter, if you want to say. Not very technical looping shots, but she does have the power to drop everybody. She doesn't really have a ground game. She can be kept on her back. Her takedown defense isn't all that great. She does work to get back up sometimes, but it is what she's mainly a striker. And speaking of mainly strikers, we have Priscilla Cachoeira, powerful striker herself, very tough. Takedown defense isn't the greatest, but I don't think she'll have to worry too much about that because her ground game is also no bueno. And yeah, so this is going to be a striker versus striker, power striker. Yeah, I think this fight should be closer to a pick'em. Maybe Nunes a slight favorite, but this big of a line, I believe Cachoeira is like plus 180 range right now. I think that's a little wide. And I'm going to go with Cachoeira. My gut says to pick her. I just think she's fought the little better competition. I think she's a little bit more technical with her striking. Both girls are durable, and Priscilla can hit hard too. I mean, maybe Nunes can land a little bit harder, but it's really that overhand right that's going to land that's really hard. And if Priscilla can just not get touched with that more than a few times, I think she'll be okay. I think she'll be landing more combos. I think she'll be throwing a little bit more volume. And she's bigger. She's going to be a little bit taller at 5'7", but the range or the reach, which is weird, it's a little bit less. But I also think I think she's a little bit better in the clinch as well. So we'll see what happens. I think this will be a very close fight either way. I would say decision too, but I think Priscilla gets it done. I'm going to say 29-28, and you can also look at the plus 3.5 spread once that comes out. I think that'll be a good bet too. So we'll see. Next one we got is going to be Su Young Yu versus AJ Cunningham, and Yu is technically making his UFC debut. He did fight in a fight card, I think the road to UFC, and I think that was the China card, and I did not stay up to watch that only. But anyways, Yu is a good wrestler. He's got his very good takedowns. He kind of chain wrestles. His striking is it's okay. He uses it more so to set up his takedowns, but it's not like he's he can't strike. He wants to wrestle. That's his bread and butter. Very good submissions, also good cardio to do that for 3 rounds. Cunningham, he's a good striker. His striking defense is not good at all, but he's tough. He can take shots. good volume. Takedown defense isn't great, which that's a big worry for me in this fight for him. And we've seen him get pretty much dominated by Ludovic Klein, which that's a tough ask in his UFC debut. So this is a little bit easier for him, fight wise, let's say. But I'm still gonna go with you. I know he's a monster favorite, and I see why. Definitely not gonna bet this one unless maybe look at inside the distance props for you. Maybe or a sub, but other than that, I mean, if AJ can stuff the takedowns and do a little bit more damage, and maybe he wins this fight, but I don't think he's going to be able to. So give me you to win. I'll say by like second or third round submission. I think AJ can survive one round on the mat, but if you get another takedown in rounds 2 and or 3, then I think that's probably where this fight will probably end. I got all these ads popping up. Let's see. So he's never been submitted, but he's been knocked out twice. So, but I don't know if he's ever fought somebody as good as you as well. So we'll see what happens, but give me you to win by submission. Let's see. Next one here, we got Josias Musasa versus Carlos Vera, and Musasa is making his UFC debut. There's a lot of UFC debutants in this one. Powerful striker, very fast hands, very fast on the very athletic. I'm trying to say, I can't even say it. He can wrestle if need be, but he's gonna try to knock you out on the feet. That's what he does. He's got good cardio, good takedown defense. I know in his Dana White Contender Series fight, it was a little closer than a lot of people wanted it, but he still got it done. I think he's very good still. And then we got Vera, okay striking, well-rounded. He can grapple, he can wrestle, but nothing great. His takedowns really aren't that great if you want to try to get this to the mat. He's 37 years old. He did not look good against Rinya, but he did give Rinya a little bit of trouble. But I don't think Musasa is going to have any trouble in this one. I think he finds that KO in rounds 1 or 2. I think, yeah, this is pretty much going to be an easy one for me. I don't know about you guys. Look at the Musasa KO props. I know he's a pretty big favorite, minus 500 range, I believe. Maybe rounds 1 or 2 KOs, but I think he definitely finds that KO. Vera has been, he's never been KO'd, but he's been subbed. But this guy can hit like a truck, and I think he's going to find that chin, and then Carlos will feel like he was hit by a truck. So Musasa by KO. I'm going to say round 1. Next one, Sam Hughes versus Stephanie Luciano. And Sam Hughes, we all know who she is and her game. She's very tough, okay striking, very hittable on the feet, very, very good cardio, very, very durable, good wrestling, good takedown. She's very good when she gets on top of you, when she has, and then she's has good top control. But she's just not very dangerous. She tries to basically use her cardio as a weapon, if you want to say. So she's, as the fight goes on, she does get a little bit better. And then we got Stephanie Luciano, good striker. She does push forward. She can mix in some takedowns here and there. She's not the most dangerous fighter. She does have pretty good cardio, though. I don't think she's going to gas out like a lot of Sam Hughes opponents have, which made her win, if you want to say. So this is an interesting fight, though. I think it could be close. I'm not 100% sold on Luciano. I know what I'm going to get from Sam Hughes. I just don't know what I'm going to get really from Luciano. Like, all the talent's there on paper. And she did, like, avenge, if you want to say, her Dana White Contender Series loss to Alankar. And she did look good in that fight. At least she looked way better in their first fight. But I'm going to lean Luciano. I'm not very confident. I do think Sam Hughes is live to win a decision. It's just whoever wins round 2 is probably going to win this fight. I think Sam Hughes probably wins round 3 more times than not. And I think Luciano probably wins round 1 more times than not. Maybe look at the plus 3.5 spread for Sam Hughes. Maybe when that comes out, maybe that's a good look. I'd like the overs in this fight too. Over is probably going to be a parlay piece. I don't think anyone's finishing anyone here. So, but give me Luciano to win by decision. I think it'll be a very close, maybe even a split decision, but definitely Stephanie's a better striker. And I think she'll be able to stuff the majority of the takedowns anyways. So we'll see what happens. Next one here, another one. Let's see if I can try this name. UNC Duben versus Carly Judice. And we got Duben making her UFC debut. Wild striker, always pushes forward, very, very aggressive. She really hasn't fought the greatest competition. She had a massive KO in the Dana White Contender Series fight she had, which was awesome. But then she's fighting ladies that are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. And she's knocking them all out, which is cool beans. But, I mean, come on. 0-0 fighters. It is what it is. But then we got Carly. She's got good striking. She's a high volume striker, good combos. Only problem is with her, she's very hittable. She just doesn't have striking defense. Her takedown defense isn't that great either. She really hasn't fought a lot. She lost her last 2 by split. They were very close fights. I did think she lost both of them. Very close though. But she's very green. Like I said, she's only had 5 pro fights. Same with Duben. Both these girls are kind of starting out. But I'll tell you one thing. I do trust. Well, I shouldn't say trust. I know Carly's cardio is very good, and she is very durable. I don't know about Duben. Duben looks like a little, what do you want to say? Like a little, whatever. She just comes out guns blazing. And what if that doesn't work after the first round? Maybe she empties the gas tank. I know she's a very big underdog, which could be a little bit enticing in this fight because it's probably closer to a pick'em. I would say maybe Carly is a slight favorite, but I'm still going to go with Carly. Like I said, I think she can survive round 1. I think round 1 could be crazy. But after that, I think Duben probably starts to gas a little bit and slow down. And I think Carly will do a little bit better with her volume and stuff like that. She's going to be a little bit taller, a little bit of a reach too. So that's going to help her. So give me Carly to win by decision. It could be close. Maybe there's a knockout by Duben. Who knows? But I think Carly will be okay. Not going to bet this fight, though. Next one. Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Ryan Spann. And before I get into this, Ryan Spann is taking this fight at heavyweight. Interesting. So, Waldo. Solid striking, good volume for heavyweight, pushes forward. He's very durable. He does have okay power. He's not that one touch or one punch knockout heavyweight. We did see him mix in wrestling against Robellis, which that's also that's a very good sign to see. He doesn't really check leg kicks at all, though. I remember that against Ruggiero, and I just hit the wrong button. There we go. And yeah, pretty solid heavyweight. Middle of the road, if you want to say. And then we got Ryan Spann. We all know who this guy is in his game. Super dangerous early. He packs tons of power in his hands. He does have sneaky front chokes and guillotines, but he's literally round 1 or maybe even 3 or 4 minutes or bust. He goes for it in the first round every time. He can get cracked. His chin could be a little dusty. And if that happens, then he gets finished. So I'm going to go with Waldo. I think he's durable enough to survive. I think he can use some wrestling. I think he can take down Ryan Spann. I think he's going to be bigger, too. He's going to be a little bit stronger. I know Ryan will probably be quicker on the feet with his hands, but it's only going to be for about 3 or 4 minutes until he gasses. And then he's also going to be packing on a little bit more weight, I'm going to guess. So even that, I like Waldo here. I think he wins. I think I'm going to say he gets early second round KO just because Ryan Spann is going to be a little tired. So we'll see what happens. Probably like a standing TKO, maybe ground and pound. But I do like Waldo a pretty decent amount in this spot. We'll see. Next one, Andre Lima versus Daniel Barez. And we got Lima. It's good striker, good kickboxer, good power, good combos. Pretty good takedown defense as well. He does, and also a good get up game if he does get taken down. He's not really a wrestler or grappler. He's going to probably stay on the feet. He does fade a little bit with his volume as the fight goes on, but he doesn't like death gas or anything like that. And then we got Barez, good striking, good combos as well. Does have power, works the body too. He does like to push forward. He does have grappling that he can use, decent wrestling and takedowns. So he might use some wrestling and grappling here. He's the more well-rounded fighter, I think, but I do think Lima's the better striker. And I do think he's going to be able to stuff the takedown. So I do think Lima wins this fight. I think it might be close. Also, I just don't really trust at 36 years old to 26. I'm going to go with the younger guy as well. Barez has been chinned a couple times. The crazy Vallejos fight, that was pretty cool. I think he got dropped maybe once or twice, and so did Jafel. So he did look good against Victor. He did stuff Victor's takedowns and stuff like that, but Lima's going to be striking, not shooting takedowns. This is a completely different fight. So I do like Lima in this spot. I do think he wins. I'm going to say by decision, but if he does get a finish, it's probably first round. I don't think it's going to be any like second or third round or anything like that. So Lima by decision is my pick. The line, I believe, is like minus 300 for Lima. I don't really love that, but I do think he's the right guy. We got the main card. We got Kevin Vallejos versus Sungwoo Choi. And we got Kevin, UFC debut. Go figure. Powerful striker, very good combos, quick hands, good footwork. He's very tough. He's very durable. He doesn't really use any wrestling or grappling. Takedown defense is okay, but this is going to stay on the feet, so I'm not even going to go along with that. But we got Choi, also a very good striker. He does have decent power in his hands. He can be hittable on the feet. His chin, I believe, is gone. That's the one thing in this fight. And takedown defense isn't great, but like I said, ain't good in this fight staying on the feet. So Choi is going to be taller and have a reach, but Kevin is going to have more power. He's going to be more durable. He's going to probably land the shot to knock out Choi, and eventually. So I'm going to say round 2 KO. I think Kevin's really good. Choi, at one point, I thought could be okay, but then he's losing. He's getting rocked in every fight, and he's just. I don't trust that chin at all. So Kevin's the pick. KO, second round. Pretty confident. Interesting fight, as always, is with Alexander Hernandez fights. Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobaugh. And we got Alexander, who's a solid striker with good power. He does have wrestling that he can use, but he doesn't really use it all that much. He's very dangerous early. He does fade as the fight goes on, and his fight IQ is awful. Very, very bad. That Austin Hubbard fight was bad. And that was a split, and he won. That's not a good look. But neither is a lot of these either. He did beat Jim Miller, which that was very close, but I get it. But other than that, I just don't trust this guy at all. But then we got Kurt Holobaugh, solid striker himself. He does have some power. He does like to push forward. He's always sets a good pace, so he does have good cardio to do that for 3 rounds. Good 1-2s and combos. Takedown defense isn't the greatest, but I don't think Alex is going to be shooting because he's probably going to even lower his gas tank even more. But he is durable. Kurt is very durable. He did have a good win against Kenyan, and then Trey Ogden, he's a wrestler. So Alex isn't a wrestler. Alex is a decent size favorite, maybe like minus 200 range, which I think that's wild. And I know the age difference is about 6 years, but I got to go with Kurt Holobaugh. I don't trust Alexander at all. And I think Kurt will be in front of his face for all 15 minutes. I think he can survive the early maybe onslaught from Alex. But after round 1, you will see Kurt put it pace on even more, and he'll be pushing Alexander back, and I think he'll be landing the better shots. So, yeah, I like Holobaugh to win. I'm going to say by decision, but it wouldn't shock me if there's like a 3rd round finish for Kurt. And, Kurt's pretty durable. He has a dog in him. I trust him way more. And he might not be the best fighter on paper in this fight, but I do trust him more. He's got that dog, and I think he's durable, and I think he's got that cardio that he needs. So going with the dog here. Next one, Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson, which is another interesting fight. Blackshear is a solid grappler. He's got very good submissions, decent wrestling too. His striking is pretty good. He's dangerous on the feet too. He can be a little hittable. He did look good against Cody Stamann. He got that rear naked choke, and but that Montel Jackson, that was quick and easy. Bautista's pretty good, so he is, beating the guys he should beat. Let's put it that way. And then the guys that he lost, those guys are good. And we got Cody Gibson. He's a solid striker. Okay power, okay takedown defense. He is tough. He's very durable, good cardio. He can grapple and wrestle if need be, but he does mainly keep it on the feet. I don't think he's going to want to try to take this fight to the mat. He's probably going to stay on the feet. And I'm going to go Blackshear in this one. I don't want to say I'm very confident. I am confident that he wins. I just think he's more explosive. I think he's better on the mat. I think the striking, it's close. The striking is the closest, but I do think he's better, and I think he's more dangerous. Cody Gibson is just very durable, and he's got good cardio. But he's good everywhere. He's well-rounded, but I just think Blackshear is better, and I think Blackshear does have good cardio too. So he's mainly been durable too. That KO was the only time that he really you can question his durability. So give me Blackshear to win by decision. I think Cody can stay safe on the mat if he gets taken down, and I do think he'll be okay on the feet. He's very durable that way too. So, but I just think Blackshear will have the more moments and maybe get some grappling going and win some control time that way too. So, Blackshear, decision. All right, next one here. I'm going to try to say the name correctly. DR Nurgozhay versus Brenton Ribeiro. And we got Nurgozhay. UFC debut, again, well-rounded fighter, good wrestling, good takedowns. He does have good striking as well, but I would say he's more so a wrestler, I'm sorry. But he does have very good cardio. He's very tough. He's very durable. Then we got Ribeiro, who is a good striker himself. He's got good power. He can grapple as well. He can be a little hittable. His takedown defense isn't the greatest. I keep going back to this Magomed fight where he was just taken down and held down by Magomed, who's not a wrestler, and he lost that way. But he did end up coming out and barely beating Kai Machado, who's not good. But DR is good, and I think he's going to win this fight. I'm going to say I was debating between KO or decision. I'm going to go decision, though. I do think Ribeiro's pretty tough. How many times has he been KO'd? Once? 3 times? Okay, maybe he's not. I'm going to go decision. My gut says decision. That's what we're going to go with, but I do think this is a pretty confident pick here. I don't think Bretson's all that bad, but I don't think he's all that good either. I think DR's has the potential to be good. I do think he's good right now. He has fought pretty good competition too in his 10 wins. So, yeah, give me DR to win by decision. He uses that wrestling. Co-main, we got Zaleski versus Chidi Njokuani. Njokuani, sorry. Oof. Time change is messing me up. So we got Zaleski, solid striker with power. He does have pretty decent grappling too, but he does like to keep it on the feet. Good cardio, good volume on the feet. He's very durable. He's getting up there in age. I think he's 38. There's a lot of 38-year-olds fighting this card. I just noticed that. Then we got Chidi, very good striker himself, good kickboxer, good Muay Thai, good elbows, keeps his range very well. He also has good kicks, but he can slow down as the fight goes on. He can be, and as the fight goes on too, his striking defense gets a little bit lackadaisical. And he's 36. He's going to have a pretty big height and reach advantage, so that's going to be playing in his favor. I think this fight's going to be close, but the longer the fight goes, I favor Zaleski, obviously. And I don't think Chidi is going to be able to knock out Zaleski early. So I'm ever so slightly going to lean Zaleski. I'm not very confident in this one either. I'm going to say by decision, maybe a late finish for Zaleski, round 3 decision, but I just like his more well-rounded game, if you want to say. I think Zaleski might use some wrestling and grappling in this fight, especially early on, and then just to tire out Chidi, because we have seen Chidi get really tired against people who tried to wrestle him, and he's sometimes to the point where he doesn't really throw anything anymore in rounds 2 and 3, but he's always dangerous in round 1. So that's the only thing that Zaleski really needs to worry about. And other than that, I think he can win this fight rounds 2 and 3 for sure. But yeah, I think Chidi can win though. He's live. So give me Zaleski to win by a close decision or round 3 finish. Like I said, not very confident. So this is going to be a good one. And we got the main event, if I can click on it correctly. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. And we got Vettori, well-rounded fighter, good takedowns, good wrestling, solid striking, doesn't really have crazy power or anything. He doesn't throw a lot of volume. He's very durable. And he also has good cardio. And I'm going to say this is a 5-round fight. The last fight that they fought was 3 rounds. And we got Roman Dolidze, very good grappler, very good submission, super powerful. Striking is kind of, I don't want to say bad, but what am I trying to say? His striking, he doesn't really throw combos. It's like one punch kind of thing. He tries to wrestle, but he does throw heavy hands and power shots that he can knock anybody out. If he does get you hurt, though, he goes crazy. Sometimes he can get a little too aggressive. Sometimes he doesn't check his leg kick, so that's a little something to think about here. But he has been more active. He's fought 3 times in the last year? Vettori hasn't fought in a year and a half, guys, since the Jared Cannonier decision. And I believe I was there live. That's crazy. This is another close fight. I do like Roman early. If the fight gets in the rounds 4 and 5, I do favor Vettori. And it's a closely lined fight for a reason. I'm going to go with Dolidze. I'm going to go with the dog. I think he's more dangerous. I know Vettori's never been finished, but I think Roman can land the harder shots, and I think maybe can hurt Vettori. I don't like the long layoff from Vettori either. Roman has been more active, like I said, and maybe Roman mixes in the wrestling. He didn't mix in any wrestling the first time. It was mainly a striking fight, so maybe he mixes in something like that this time, and we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, this is an interesting fight, and I know the last fight Vettori won, but I think Dolidze gets this one done. I think it usually rematches don't happen the same way, except I just said that last week and Gaethje beat Fiziev, so pretty much the same way. But I think that was more of a clear win than the last time. And Fiziev's coming, he had a year and a half layoff. Marvin Vettori has a year and a half layoff. The stars are aligning for Roman to win. I'm going to say decision. It sounds stupid, but I think he can find the finish, but my gut is going to go with decision, but I might change that around. We'll see. Maybe I'll think about it more, but I do think Roman wins as a dog. But all right, guys, that is it. That is all 13 fights for UFC Vegas 104. Thank you everybody for watching. Let me know below what you think about my picks, who you like this weekend, what bets you got going on. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't, and check out my Patreon, patreon.com/JohnnyKpicks, where I put out all my UFC content, my bets, my UFC cheat sheets, UFC Survivor Pool. We're down to 3 people. It's going to start back up. So if you want to join and want to play for free, you can either become a member or you can join for free too. It's all good. I put out free content on there too. And then also, obviously, don't forget about the Defend Your Units live show on Wednesday night. We will go over all of this again with a special guest. So hope to see you guys there. Good luck on your picks and your bets. Until next time, happy fight night.